Hey, what's up, guys? Tony here, and this is another game of MLB 11 Road to the Show with Scott McLean. And here I am pinch hitting, and so here's a little piece of advice. If you're the pinch hitter or the leadoff guy of an inning, you want to take some pitches. And here I've got bases loaded, 2 outs, so you really want to take some pitches and work that at bat and get that pitch you want to hit. Or you can hit the first pitch and hit a grand slam. I mean, that was really funny because my intention was, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I see the situation I'm in, and I'm going to make sure to take a bunch of pitches. And the guy threw it right in my wheelhouse, and I put it out of the ballpark. So, anyways, that was pretty exciting because it was the first game that I was recording in a long time, and I wanted to make sure to bring one from the Cubs. This is a whole series against the Cubbies. But one thing I want to talk about, which has come up recently in baseball, is Interleague. Now, do you guys, I'm going to ask you a question first. Do you guys think that Interleague play has run its course? Or do you think it's still, a viable thing in baseball? I remember when it first came out, it was very much like a gimmick. It was like, let's, bring the two leagues together for, one set, like once, they mixed them in the schedule. So I know what they started doing is they had the American League West play the National League West and Central and East and blah, blah, blah. And then they had like people the National League West would play the American League East or the Central. And then they did rivalry series like they've been doing the last couple of seasons. So you see teams historically that have been rivals, cross-league rivals play each other, like the Mets and the Yankees, the Dodgers and the Angels, the Padres and the Mariners. Where that rivalry came from, I have no freaking clue. But just let me know if you think that Interleague has run its course. Because the one thing that I always thought was special about the World Series was the watching the two leagues come together and play each other for the first time all season. I mean, that's when you get to see American League pitchers face National League batters, and National League pitchers face American League batters. You saw National League teams having to get used to hitting with 9 guys, pitching to guys with 9 guys in their lineup with a DH, and then you'd have the American League teams coming to a National League stadium and having to worry about their pitchers hitting. And there's really 2 schools of thought when you come to baseball, and you look at it in the 2 different leagues. The National League with the pitcher hitting in the 9 spot, you have to think about stuff like, when do I pinch hit? How long is my starter going to go? Who's coming in to relieve? What batters are up? Is the pitcher spot coming up? Do I double switch? There's things that the American League, they don't really consider. Their pitcher goes out there and he pitches, every half inning, takes a seat and lets his team do the rest. It doesn't ever hit. And so it just is one of those things. It's just like, well, it doesn't feel like baseball because there's a rule in baseball that states that every man on the field must hit. But the American League rather changed that to differentiate themselves between the leagues, which I think is fine. I'm very much okay with the leagues being very distinct and different, and they really have developed into very distinct and different leagues. So I'm okay with that. But I just think that, to be honest, and I've heard some of these sentiments from some Major League Baseball players that, oh, check this out. So I hit that double and I'm racing to third, and the whole time I'm pressing head first slide, and he slides in feet first, and I'm out. I mean, if I was slid in head first, I would have been safe, and I was really pissed off at the computer for changing my slide on me. Like if you don't select it at the right time, it'll automatically select it for you. It's kind of pissed me off. But yeah, there have been some players like Chipper Jones sort of been outspoken against the interleague play. I've heard some ESPN commentators talk about interleague play and how it's run its course, and I kind of feel the same way. It's just one of those things that I don't know. It was like a gimmick. I thought I think it brought people out to the ballpark. Say a couple seasons back when the Red Sox came to San Diego, a lot of people flocked to San Diego to watch the Red Sox, which was really kind of embarrassing because there were more Red Sox fans in the stadium than Padre fans, and to be honest, this season there's more fans of the opposing team than there are of the home team. You know, when the Phillies came to town, there were so many Phillies fans at the stadium. I thought it was a Phillies game. I think that's just sort of the nature of the Padres, you know, situation this season. But anyways, yeah, some of these players are thinking that, and the commentators are thinking that Interleague has run its course. But it would be really interesting to see if baseball went back to the National League schedule, because then you would have to restructure the schedule to factor in probably more games within one's own division, which I imagine what would do, because those games that were interleague games were worth one whole game and not a half a game. So then suddenly I think you would start to see teams within their own division playing each other, which, to be honest, depending on the division, might make it a more interesting season than you would see normally. So if you had the Padres playing the Dodgers, the Rockies, the Diamondbacks, and the Giants, you know, several times a season, that might get interesting for a few seasons, and then it might get a little old. So, you know, that's why they change up the schedule, you know, every year. You know, maybe you play like a National League East heavy or a Central heavy, or you spread it evenly across the board. I don't know, there's all sorts of things that can be done, and only the commissioner can really change stuff around. And I think that Bud Selig has done a good job with baseball. Especially with all the steroid scandals and stuff, but this interleague is going to be the newest thing to sort of, I don't know, is it going to go away or if it's not going to go away. And so for you guys out there, let me know what you think. We also want to talk about this game just a little bit. This is one of those that I really didn't hit that well throughout the whole series. You know, I had the grand slam, but I just was way out front on every pitch. Hey, that's really weird. My player's wearing a new helmet. I don't know what it is, but I have my player set to wearing that new style helmet, except for when we play at home in the white jerseys, it's the old school helmet. And then now with the alternative jerseys on, or whenever we play with the military uniforms on, he wears the new style helmet, which is really weird. I don't know why it changes that. And I thought maybe it was for the manager or some shit, I'm not sure. But yeah, anyways, I was way out front this entire series. I don't know, I was trying to wait, and I really intended to make this sort of a hitting video, but it's not quite long enough, and I wanted to talk about Interleague since it's sort of the newest thing on the I don't know, on the topic boards or whatever. I don't know what I'm saying here. But basically the principles of hitting are you want to hit the ball where it's pitched. So I mean, if it's thrown away, you want to hit away. You don't want to try to roll over on a ball. Yeah, and I get injured here, and that sort of ends this. So anyways, guys, that is this series. Very quick one from Chicago. I can't remember what I do for the series, but it wasn't all that great. I go 1 for 2 today before I got hurt. So anyways, guys, I'll talk to you in my next video. All right, later.